Investing in a German GmbH. A practical guide for international investors. Germany is one of the most attractive business and investment locations in Europe. International investors are increasingly looking at German companies, especially in sectors such as real estate, hotels and hospitality, restaurants and food service, logistics and trade, IT and startups, manufacturing, recruitment and staffing services, cross-border European business platforms. Germany offers a stable legal system, strong banking infrastructure, high business credibility, and direct access to the European Union market. However, investing in a German company, especially a GmbH, differs significantly from investment structures commonly used in other countries. Understanding these differences is essential before entering the German market. What is a German GmbH? A GmbH stands for Gesellschaft mit beschränkter Haftung, which translates to Limited Liability Company. It is one of the most common legal entities in Germany and can be compared to a private limited company or LLC structure in many international jurisdictions. However, Germany has its own unique legal and financial culture, especially regarding notarization, shareholder structures, banking requirements, equity treatment, and corporate governance. Key characteristics of the German investment environment. Germany is known for long-term business relationships, conservative financing structures, strong creditor protection, and detailed legal documentation. German banks and business partners usually place significant importance on balance sheet quality, equity ratios, financial stability, and transparent ownership structures. This often differs from faster-moving or more aggressive investment cultures found in some international markets. Why many international investors start with 1% ownership. In practice, many foreign investors do not initially acquire large ownership stakes in a German GmbH. Instead, a common structure is acquiring a small ownership interest, for example 1%, while providing additional financing separately. This approach offers flexibility and reduces risk during market entry. The importance of 1% ownership. Even a small ownership stake in a GmbH provides the investor with official shareholder status. This may include access to company information, participation rights, dividend rights, voting rights, depending on agreements, and the ability to participate in future capital increases. It also creates a stronger legal position compared to being only an outside lender. For international investors, this structure can be an effective way to enter the German market cautiously, evaluate local partners, and expand later if the business develops successfully. Example: investing in a German boutique hotel GmbH. Assume a boutique hotel company in Berlin is seeking additional capital for renovations, operational liquidity, marketing, and business expansion. An international investor is interested in entering the German market but prefers a controlled and gradual investment approach. A practical structure could look like this. Step 1. Acquisition of 1% GmbH shares. The investor acquires 1% of the GmbH shares. Example: item, purchase of 1% shares. Amount, €5,000. At this stage, the investor becomes an official shareholder of the GmbH. Important: in Germany, the transfer of GmbH shares must be notarized by a German notary public. Step 2. Additional financing. After becoming a shareholder, the investor may provide additional capital through various financing structures. Germany offers several practical options. Investment Method 1. Capital increase, Stammkapitalerhöhung. The traditional approach is increasing the official registered share capital of the GmbH. The company issues new shares, and the investor receives additional ownership. However, in practice this method is not always preferred because it may involve notarization, commercial register changes, shareholder dilution, and more complex procedures. As a result, German companies frequently use alternative financing structures. Investment Method 2. Shareholder loan, Gesellschafterdarlehen. One of the most common structures in Germany. the investor acquires a small ownership stake and additionally provides a loan to the company. Example, item, 1% share acquisition. Amount, 5,000 euros, e.g., shareholder loan, 200,000 euros. Advantages, for the investor, interest income, repayment claims, shareholder status, flexibility for future expansion. For the company, reduced dilution, fast access to capital, flexible financing structure. This model is extremely common among German SMEs, Mittelstand, hospitality businesses, and real estate projects. Investment method 3. Subordinated loan. Nachrangsdarlehen. A subordinated loan is repaid after ordinary creditors in insolvency scenarios. This increases investor risk but may improve the company's balance sheet position. German banks sometimes treat subordinated loans as quasi-equity, especially in hotel projects, real estate developments, and expansion financing. This makes subordinated loans particularly important in German financing structures. Investment method 4. Capital reserve contribution, Kapitalrücklage. This is a very important concept in Germany. The investor contributes additional capital to the company without necessarily receiving proportional additional shares. Example, item 1% shares. Amount, 5,000 euros, e.g., capital reserve contribution, 300,000 euros, e.g., advantages, strengthens the company's equity position, improves financial statements, increases bank credibility, supports long-term stability. German banks often place significant value on strong equity structures and clean balance sheets. Investment method 5. Silent partnership. Stillbeteiligung. A silent partnership allows an investor to participate economically without appearing as a formal shareholder in the company structure. This may resemble profit participation structures, silent equity, or certain private investment arrangements. Characteristics: reduced public visibility, economic participation, limited or no voting rights, flexible contractual arrangements. This structure may be attractive for private investors, strategic partnerships, family office investments, or confidential investments. Investment method 6. Convertible loan. Wandeldarlehen. A convertible loan starts as debt financing but may later convert into equity under agreed conditions. This structure is commonly used for startups, growth companies, international joint ventures, and phased investment strategies. Advantages: reduced initial valuation pressure, gradual investment process, future ownership expansion possibilities. Common combined structures in Germany. In practice, German investment structures often combine multiple elements. Structure A: 1% ownership plus shareholder loan. The most common practical structure. Structure B: 1% ownership plus subordinated loan. Frequently used together with bank financing. Structure C: 1% ownership plus capital reserve. Suitable for long-term strategic investors. Structure D: 1% ownership plus silent partnership. Allows broader economic participation while limiting public exposure. Structure E: 1% ownership plus convertible loan. Creates flexibility for future ownership expansion. Important considerations for international investors. 1. Source of funds documentation. German banks apply strict anti-money laundering and compliance procedures. Clear documentation of investment funds is essential. 2. Notarization requirements. GmbH share transfers require German notarization. This is mandatory under German corporate law. 3. Tax planning. International investors should carefully review dividend taxation, withholding taxes, double taxation treaties, corporate tax implications, and interest deductibility. 4. Shareholders' agreement. Especially for minority investors, a detailed shareholders' agreement is highly recommended. This may regulate information rights, exit rights, future investments, anti-dilution protection, voting rights, dispute resolution, and transfer restrictions. Conclusion: investing in a German GmbH can be an excellent gateway into the European market for international investors. In Germany, investments are often structured not only through direct equity participation but also through shareholder loans, subordinated loans, capital reserve contributions, silent partnerships, and convertible loans. A common and practical strategy is to begin with a small ownership stake, build market experience, and gradually expand the investment over time. Germany values long-term stability, transparency, financial discipline, and reliable partnerships. For international investors, careful structuring of legal, tax, financing, and shareholder arrangements is essential for a successful investment in the German market.